And good morning. Good morning. I just want to welcome you all for wherever you are coming in to sit with yourself, I like to say, inner gaze, to sort of close out the outside and look inward and check and see how you're doing. So, welcome. Let's find a comfortable spot here. We're turning off our phones. We're taking some time to really look inward. Just noticing anything that's bugging you today. Maybe it's physical, maybe it's emotional, maybe you've got some stuff on your mind. Just put a big old pause button on the outside life, and we're going to just turn on that inner world here. I like to say welcoming yourself to the mat, that magic carpet ride. Let's check in on that wind. How's the breath? Does it feel like it's moving in any sort of rhythm or pattern? Or is it just all over the place? There's no right or wrong. We just really want to start with the truth. As always, making the time for this, actually really making the time for self-care, is often the most challenging part. You've arrived here. You're here. Now you can let the rest go as we watch the pattern of our wind. How's the breath flowing? When you feel that it's a good spot for you to start to create the rhythm, to create that Samavriti pattern, feel free to start to create it. And that means inhaling for the same length as the exhale. So again, if we think of this magic carpet ride, on the inhale, we're lifting up. And on that exhale, we're evening out, maybe taking a dip down. Inhale, ride that breath. Ride it. Inhale, lifting it up, filling up, filling up. And exhale, coasting, coasting, coasting. Samavriti, equal inhale, equal exhale. So calming for the nerves. I remember when I was growing up, it was count to 10 to calm yourself down. And now we can say take 8 deep breaths, 8 mindful breaths. Start to create a little bit longer of an exhale now. See if you can let a little bit longer of an exhale go. And then see if you can now get a little bit longer of an inhale. Let that exhale go a little bit longer, maybe 6, maybe 8, maybe 10 seconds. Really push all that air out and then create that longer inhale to match it if you can. mindful breaths. Not only are we creating a lovely pattern of breath that's very calming for our nerves, but we're also training our mind to focus. I don't know who said this, but if you are walking the path of enlightenment, you can find it with 10,000 mindful breaths a day. So if you want some homework, take 10,000 mindful breaths a day. Good luck with that. Just pause and check it out. Long exhale, a long inhale. Now we're going to start to settle into our intention today. Why are you here? What are you needing or wanting from this magic carpet ride, from this tool, yoga, the path of yoga? What do you need? What are you wanting from the class today? Start to lean into that intention, that mantra. Start to create a 1 or 2 word mantra, a little mission statement for yourself so that you can really align with where you are and where you are becoming. Ride the wind. Take your time, start to boil it down, repeat it to yourself a few times. What are you needing today? And when you get that mantra, that mission statement, let's bring our hands into prayer, thumbs against the heart, sit up nice and tall. And gently bow the chin to your chest, see your fingertips, remember the promise that you're making to yourself. And gently lift the head. So keeping your palms together, let's just say good morning to our wrists. Take the fingertips down, roll the backs of the hands together, and then circle the wrists up, and then bring the palms together again. So let's do this again. Palms are touching. Just turn the fingers away from you, down towards the floor. Unseal the palms, turn the backs of the hands together. The fingers are still pointing down. Swivel the fingers towards you and towards the sky. Palms are still facing out, and then roll the palms together. Let's do one more slow, okay? So palms are together, drop the fingertips away from you. Palms are still touching. Unseal the palms, turn the backs of the hands together. The fingers are still pointing down. Rotate the wrist so that the fingers are now towards your chest and now towards the sky. Palms are away from each other. And then you roll the palms together. Okay. And whatever you think I said there is cool. And we're just going to roll them quickly now. Those cracking and popping of those joints, perhaps, just really opening up those wrists. You could cross the wrists, spread those fingers. Yeah, today, so I wanted to ride the wind. I wanted to ride the wind. We're going to be flowing. Doesn't mean fast. We want to really check in that we're riding the inhale and then riding the exhale. One more round here on the wrist, whatever that means to you, and then relax. Okay, now act as if you have water on your fingertips and you're trying to flick water at someone. This is a funny thing I do at home. I wash my hands and I'll have water on my hands and I'll pretend to sneeze on my kids. It's terrible, but it's fun. Nowadays, it's not so fun, but we used to do it when they were little. big openings on those wrists and those fingers. Now grab something. Imagine that you're pulling the energy in, 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 out, in, out, in. Really feel those arms, those wrists, those fingers. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Drop the hands to the lap and let's just take our shoulders up to 3rd floor, 2nd floor, 1st floor, basement, 3rd floor, 2nd floor, 1st floor, basement. Just take those shoulders on a ride all the way up to the rooftop. Rooftop, 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 and then slowly, slowly, slowly bring those shoulders down. Keep reaching the crown of the head up. Let's do it one more time, up to the rooftop. Nice patio deck up there. Really reach it up, reach it up, reach it up, and basement. And then just roll those shoulders. Roll those shoulders. You know, checking to see what kind of face you're wearing. It's hard to not curl up your lip here, make some sort of funky face. Just keep it chill as best you can. Now roll those shoulders forward. Juice it up. 3 more. 3 and 2 and 1. Awesome. Inhale, reach those arms up, palms touching the ceiling. Reach and feel free to extend to the right or left. And reach. How's that breathing rhythm? What pattern do you want to use today? What feels like a nice natural pattern? Is it inhaling 6, exhaling 6 or 8? Just find a rhythm that you're going to maintain here as you flow and ride the wind. And inhale, both palms reach to the ceiling, and we'll slowly float them down and down and down. Good. All right, let's make our way over to hands and knees. Bringing the thumb, the pointer finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, the pinky finger, really clawing the ground, feeling the pocket of air underneath the palms. Nice and fired up. Here we're going to inhale, look up, big back bend here. Exhale, reverse. Challenging yourself to move with the breath. So when you're inhaling, you're looking up. And when you're exhaling, you're looking towards the belly button. Inhale, looking up. There's nowhere to be right now. This is it. This is where you are. So take your time to really notice the little details. Curling your toes under, please. Slowly take yourself up to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Check to see that your feet are hip distance apart. If you feel like your tailbone is turning to the earth, bend the knees and rotate the pelvis so that the pelvic floor is reaching to the ceiling. The more the pelvic floor is reaching to the ceiling, the more we can drop the crown of the head. Imagine the heaviness of the head is 10 to 12 pounds and it's hanging on like a heavy watermelon about to fall off, so long on that neck. Two more deep breaths. And exhale, puppy pose, please. Bring your knees down, extend those arms out, forehead to the floor. Double check that your hips are staying above the knees. You're not in child's pose. You're not sitting on the ankles. You're right above those knees. Act as if there's a tennis ball underneath your palms. So you got like a Spider-Man hand here, and walk yourself, just the torso here,
over towards the left, really extending from the right wrist to the right hip. How can you turn the sits bones towards the wall behind you and just move the rib cage out of the pelvis without anchoring the pelvis or changing it at all? One more deep breath. Good. Take yourself back to center line here, back to the middle of your mat. Check and see how it feels to only have done that to one side. Do you notice anything? And when you're ready to go to the other side, switcheroo, take it to the right. Again, we're trying to find space between the left pinky, the left armpit, and the left sits bone. So keeping the sits bone level, pointing to the wall behind you, really opening up that left rib cage or whatever side you're on. One more big breath and inhale, come on back to center, back to tabletop, and then back to downward facing dog. If you feel like you have a lot of energy today, go ahead and grab your right knee with the right hand if that feels like something you'd like to do. If you feel really dynamic, touch the right hand to the left knee. If that's not where you are yet, then skip it. And then you can switch. One arm down dog. Back to downward dog. Again, let's check in on the hips. Take your right leg up. Just open that hip, almost like you're going to kick yourself in the bottom. And if this is not where you are, feel free to stay in your regular down dog. Check out that good looking left leg. Your kneecap is sitting right over that second, third toe. And bring yourself back to downward dog. And we're going to switch left leg up. Kick that hip open here. Take this body on a ride, especially if you've been doing a lot of sitting, right? And back to child's pose, or to tabletop, or to puppy. Okay, here we go. Back to downward dog. Gently walk your feet forward into your Uttanasana, your forward fold. And again, I like to use the Sanskrit words because then you can go anywhere in the world and do yoga. We all have the same names. So as I say the Sanskrit names, sometimes if you say it with me or after me out loud, you can learn it. My yoga teacher always says that if you could say it, you can do it. So this is Uttanasana, a forward fold. Grab your peace fingers around the big toes if you want to. Grab Yoga Mudra, interlacing your knuckles up towards the sky, getting a head release. Notice the hamstrings here. We'll stay for about 5 more breaths. As we forward fold, we always want opposite. So we're also seeking a back bend here. So it's almost as if you're trying to make the front of your body as long as the back body. Ride the wind. What's that mantra you said at the beginning of class? What is it you're wanting today? Get that back in your mind too. Check out those feet. Notice that the toes aren't clenching. And here we go. Let's stand up. Urdhva Hastasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Upward hands. Reach it up. Urdhva. Upward Hastasana. Hands touch. And coming into Tadasana. Okay. How's the breath? So the focus today is for you to keep your breathing calm. As we start to go flowing, you may lose your breath. I challenge you today to pause, catch the breath, and then catch up. Don't just keep up with us. Remember, the whole point of the yoga poses is to free our breathing. So let that please be your primary focus today. Okay, ride that wind, ride that wind. Here we go. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. Double check that this is a nice 90-degree angle. Some of us can hold our shins here. Some of us can bring our hands down by the pinky toes. Whatever you can do without having a kyphotic curve. So we really want a nice long spine. Exhale, step back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Push-up position, and we're going to hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, slippery slide, downward dog. Exhale. Inhale, push-up position, second round out of 3, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and downward dog. Third round, please, and 10, push-up position, 9, 8, 7, plank, 5, 4, 3, 2, and downward dog. Again, if you're feeling really dynamic, maybe you'll be doing your one-legged down dogs or your one-arm down dogs, whatever you need to do, whatever you want to do, however you want to take this ride. When you're ready, jump, walk, or float your feet forward, standing forward fold. Uttanasana, and inhale, sweep it up. Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands, and exhale. Okay, Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salute A. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, nice flat back. Exhale, jump or step it back to downward facing dog. Push up position and hold, knees down if you'd like. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, low cobra, Bhujangasana, cobra. Turn the toes under on this round. Push the heels away from you, the toes towards you. Inner thighs rolling up. And exhale, downward dog. And you know this already, I'm sure, but just in case you don't, I want to just reiterate that there's no right or wrong to yoga. It depends upon what you're focusing on, and it depends upon who's teaching it and all kinds of things. So sometimes you might hear contradictory lessons from different teachers. And the idea is that you have to make it work for you. Okay? You have to make it work for you. So what I think my job is to help you learn about your inner teacher. So following as best you can, jump your feet forward. Exhale, forward fold. Following as best you can, but also honoring where you are, not just in your world, but in your morning or in your day. How'd you sleep? How you feeling? You cranky? You know, all that changes. So again, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, jump or step it back. Go through vinyasa. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward dog. It's a moving meditation. We're going to do one more together. Jump, walk, or float. Back to the hands, standing forward fold. Inhale, sweep it up. And exhale, reestablish the intention. Here we go. Inhale. Reach. Exhale, humble bow, a new day, a sun salute, a new day. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, jump or step it back. And hold for plank. Bring your knees down. Or find your Chaturanga. So I was saying all that, honoring your own inner teacher, because you don't need to be looking at me to figure out what's happening. I really want you to practice following your own instincts here. We're going to do 2 more rounds of the sun salute. If you're familiar with what comes after what, then you're going to go on your own. If you feel like you want help,
then yeah, look at the camera. I'm going to be quiet here. We're going to honor this moving meditation. So get in your mind what you're wanting, what that mantra is, and we're going to move through our sun salute A, 2 more rounds, 5 breaths in downward dog. Okay, here we go. And we will meet in mountain pose facing the front of your mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Shift the weight to the left leg, one-legged mountain, Ardha Uttanasana, right leg is up. We're going to slowly float through Warrior 3 here. Double check that that kickstand is fired up. Tap the toes and then bring that knee up and go back to mountain. We're going to do this 4 more times. Shift the weight to the left leg, right leg up, half mountain here. Float through Warrior 3, play there. Tap the toe, bring it back to right knee up, one-legged mountain, and reset. 3 more. Ride the wave. One more. This time we're going to leave that leg back there. Step it back. You're in a big old lunge now. The right heel is above those right toes. Left knee is tracking right over that left ankle. Big inhale. Reach both arms up. Both arms up. Reach, reach, reach. Give your right hand a pat on the back. Right hand pat on the back. Left arm's going to wrap around and bind. Some of you can grab the fingertips. I'm not calling out a strap here though, because if that's not happening for you, just hold the left hand on the right elbow. We're trying to find space between the right elbow and the right knee. Drop the knee just a tiny bit and play here. Left leg forward lunge, right leg back lunge, and then half Gomukhasana arms or full. Space between the right knee, the right hip, the right hip, the right bottom ribs, the right bottom ribs to the right elbow. Left elbow dropping down for some of you, or holding that right elbow. One more deep breath. Okay, let's see how we're doing with balance. Plug in that left big toe, shift yourself over, keep the arms where they are, and find warrior three. Ride the wave. And back to mountain. Unwind that carefully. Notice it's careful. Stay here and wait, or through a sun salute. Was that fun? That was so fun. Okay, let's do it again. You want to do it again? Let's do it again. All right, switcheroo. Hands in prayer. So again, we got the prayer touching, but the elbows are moving away, fingers are pushing together, and we're sitting up right, nice and tall. Here we go. Shift the weight to the right foot, left leg up. Tap behind you and up and reset. And 2. Tap and reset. How's your breathing? Okay, fire it up. Sit it back there now. Get that left heel above the left toes, right knee over that right ankle. How's this feel? See if you can telescope up. Take your left arm up, hold on to it, or some of you can reach back and interlace your fingers. And then you're playing with this idea of bending that left knee and dragging that left elbow away. Again, if you're not interlacing your fingers, you can hold on to that left elbow. How do you keep the pelvis level here? How do you drop that right hip crest and lift the left? How do you drag that right hip back and the left hip forward? A lot of work here. 2 more deep breaths. Actually, we stayed for 8 last time, so let's go 3 more. Sorry to psych you out on that one. Really feel the telescoping action. Okay, let's see how balance is on this side. When you're ready, we're going to float into that warrior three. When you feel ready to come on out slowly. Unwind those arms. Pause. Exhale. And let's clean it out. Stay in mountain pose and wait for us. Or go to a forward fold and wait for us. Or go all the way through a vinyasa. And downward dog. Two more deep breaths wherever you are, mountain or dog. Tadasana or Adho Mukha Svanasana. One more big breath. Some of us will come back up to mountain and reset. Beautiful. So you'll probably notice that the breathing is moving a little choppier than it was. See if you can smooth it out a bit. Those legs nice and wide. Feel that earth underneath you. Heels a little bit wider than those toes. 2 more big breaths. And very nice. Okay, so moving mindfully, we're going to take our blocks here. And Parsvottanasana, so pyramid, Parsvottanasana, we're going to just do a little work here on our shoulders. So coming back to mountain pose, take the blocks on the highest level at the front of your mat. Very comparable to what we just did, but a little different. Okay, taking your right foot on the right lane, left foot on the left lane, so you're in a nice neutral line here. We're going to take our left leg back. So this is not the lunge we just did. Notice that this is much shorter than that big old thing we just did. This is short. How short? About 3/4 of your leg. So about 75% of your leg is about the distance. And I still have my right foot on the right lane, and I still have my left foot on the left lane. Now, a fallen arch on that back foot, fire it up. Get that arch lifted. Keep these toes nice and turned on. Hands are on your hips. Keep swiveling that right hip back, that left hip forward. Nice flat back. Hug those ribs in. And we'll take our arms to the ceiling. Interlace those fingers. Exhale. Slowly start to come over. And we're going to release the hands down. Bring them to the blocks. As always, we want to have the palms right underneath the shoulders. The fingertips are dripping off. Look at the spine here. It's right in the middle of your mat. You're plugging in this right big toe. We're going to reach the right arm forward. Reach it forward just like we had. So we have the arm lined up with our ear. We're going to swim the arm to the side now. Palm facing down. We're going to flip that palm over and we're going to lay it on our back. Let the elbow drop here. Slight humble tuck of the chin to the chest, not overly doing it, but just a little bit. And keeping your spine right in the middle of the mat, see if you can turn your nose to where your ear was. No, opposite. Turn your ear to where your nose was. So we're still right in the middle of our mat. Double check that you're not crossing into a diagonal line. Elbow is still releasing down. We're twisting from middle body, not shoulder joint. Maybe you drop the head to the floor, get a nice little stretch there in the back of the neck and the top of the shoulders. A lot of times we torque the elbow to the ceiling. That's not what's happening here. The elbow's relaxed. You can also focus on lifting the left armpit out of the wrist. There's just so much to focus on, so much good stuff. But more important than anything else is what? Yes, that's right. Ride the wind. Ride the wind. You can use those exhales to really turn the spine. I like to say it's magic when you sync up with the breath. You really use those exhales to wring out. Keep that plugging of the big toe. One more deep breath. Gosh, does this feel very good. This is one of my very favorite poses for almost everything. Come on out, unwind from that. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1, bend that right knee. Double check that your left knee is sitting over that second, third toe. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and we'll take our hands to the hips or palms touching. Take the thumbs to the back of the head, squeeze those elbows, and do the same thing we did earlier. Drag that spine out of the waist. Imagine you're on this magic carpet ride and you're so solid, you could stand up on the surfboard. Just let the ride of the wind. One more deep breath. Okay, be safe here by lifting that left heel, close that hip. We're going to go to Warrior 3. Take your hands down to the blocks again, pressing into that same foot. Right foot's down, left leg is up. Turn the toes on and Ardha Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. We're revolving. Our left hand is on the block and our right hand is in the sky. If you want to bind, feel free to bind. 2 more big breaths. And beautiful. Let's take that foot down and pause. Uttanasana, forward fold. Ride the wave. Inhale, fill it up. Exhale, dissolve in. Let's do the second side. Inhale, sweep it up. Urdhva Hastasana. Remember your mantra. And exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Yummy, right? Totally yummy. Okay, switching row. Parsvottanasana, pyramid. Again, short stance. We've got our left leg forward this time, right leg back. Foot is on left foot, left lane, right foot, right lane. Very important that we're not in this tightrope, okay? So you want to have it nice and wide. Left hip is swiveling back, right hip is swiveling forward, and we're pulling that belly lock in. Glutes are toned but not clenched. Arms up, interlace those fingers, reach. Now plug in that left big toe and exhale with a forward fold here. Keep swiveling the outer left hip back. We're going to drop the hands down to the blocks. Feel that length that you're creating. As always, we have those wrists right underneath our shoulders, fingertips tipping off. Notice how the spine is right in the middle of your mat. And we're going to turn, Parsvottanasana here. We're going to turn, Parivriti, Parsvottanasana. And we're going to turn our ear where our nose was. Keeping that spine right in the middle of that mat. Taking your left arm up, bind around if that feels nice for you. Doesn't matter if your drishti, which is your gazing point, goes to the ceiling or not. We're really focusing on spine here and riding those breaths. Use those exhales. Good. Very nice. And slowly unwind from that. Take your heel back here. So now we're in a deeper lunge. We're going to go into our warrior 3, our Virabhadrasana 3. Lift that right leg. Toes are fired up. And we'll do it again. We'll take our left arm up or bind around. Float that armpit up. Get it out of the wrist. Beautiful. Bringing that right toes back down. Short stance the pose again. Bring your left knee to bend. Virabhadrasana 1. Take yourself up. Arms up nice and wide here. Lifting towards the ceiling. Left knee bending. Outer left hip reaching back. Right hip reaching forward. And bring yourself into just feeling that extension on that right side again. Anything you want to do here, or what we did last time, bring the thumbs together and hug those elbows in like a dolphin arm. Keep telescoping, keeping those hips level. 2 more deep breaths. One more. Beautiful. Keeping yourself safe. Swivel that right heel up. Get your blocks out of the way. Step back to downward dog. If you want, go through a vinyasa or bring your knees down and we'll pause. Two more breaths. Barad's twist. So we're going to come up into hands and knees pose, and we're going to pop a squat here on the left hip. Okay. We're going to try to bring the right top edge of the foot in that left arch if that's able to be happening for you. Otherwise, don't worry so much about it. Okay. So we're going back into our neck. If you want to have a block handy, you could have a block handy. Okay, so we want to do our best to keep the spine perpendicular to the floor. It's not, because our hip is stacked up, right? My right hip is a little higher than my left, and I can't get it down because of anatomy. So I just have this asymmetry, but I'm trying my best to keep the spine perpendicular. We're going to take our left hand out, and we're going to reach our right arm up. Exhale. Some of us will bring our elbow down, and you're just going to drop that right arm. So again, we're on our left hip, our left elbow is down, and we're swimming with our right arm. We're trying to get more into the neck here, more into the top of the shoulders. We're going to hold for about 5 breaths. You can turn the palm behind you. You can go back to that bind that we were doing. Just breathe, comb through the tension. So good. Come on up. Keep everything the way it is, but bring your torso up. And now we're going to twist. Take your right hand to the left knee, big inhale, and exhale, moving the torso behind you. But keep looking forward here. Keep your head sitting on top. Moving middle spine first, and then adding the chin right over the sternum. Here we are. We're going to drop the chin to the throat a little bit. Maybe even more. And breathe 5 breaths. No collapsing in the torso, just the chin. And float it back up. So good, so good, so good. Okay, let's take our legs in front, and let's take our second side here. Top of right foot, inside left arch. We can bring our left elbow down. Again, if you need the block, do the block. We'll reach that left arm up, reaching, drop the chin, drop the ear, and then whatever you need to do here to get into your sweet spots. 8 breaths.
Focus your mind, focus your breath. And gently make your way up back to the Broad's twist. So again, trying to find perpendicular spine. Why? Who cares? The discs, right? So we don't want to be twisting. Twists are very advanced. And if we're not sitting up tall and we're just twisting like this, I'm bulging, I'm compressing on one side and bulging on the other. That would be damaging for us. So it's really important in your twist that you keep the spinal integrity as best as you can. Okay, again, it's impossible because we're asymmetrical in our bottom half, but that's the focus. That's the plan here, as to how do I then, out of asymmetry, out of imbalance, do I seek balance? Just like in life, right? Life's not always balanced, but that's what we have to continue to find, is making ourselves balanced when things are a little out of whack. Okay, taking your right arm behind you, left arm on the right leg. Keep gazing forward here as you're starting to wring your spine back, hugging those abdominals in and bringing it back. Looking forward, keep going. When you're ready, take the chin right over that sternum and then drop the chin to the throat first. Keep the torso lifted. And then some of you may want to go deeper here and drop the chin more towards the chest. 8 breaths. Imagine it's a hot, hot, hot day and you drink a big gold glass of water. That's what this breath does to our body. It's like nourishing our cells and our tissues. So when you do your breathing, let it be beneficial. I say, like, eat the breath like you're eating a piece of chocolate. Like, let it melt inside of you. No rushing on it. Two more big breaths. And gently, gently, gently come on back. Wow. How much do you love yoga? I know. I love it. I love it. Okay, we're going to be closing up, but before we do, we're going to just say good morning or hello to our core, okay? So we're going to find our way down now. And we're going to take our interlaced fingers behind our head, elbows wide, and our feet as wide as the mat. We're going to turn those toes towards the kneecap, and we're going to zip up that fly from pubic bone to navel, zips up. Okay, nice and strong and firm. Lift the head and shoulders, keep gazing towards the sky. Keep the integrity. Your fingers are pulling together, but the elbows are apart and the head is heavy. We're going to do 20 of these. Right leg up, cross it over, tap, tap, and down, relax. Let the whole body flop. 19, head and shoulders up, left leg crosses, tap, tap, and down. 18 more on your own. Ride the wind. You don't need to go slow. We're still pumping through these fairly quickly. The breathing is slow though. Seven more. Head is heavy. There's no work in the neck at all. 5, 4, 3,
2, and 1. Just pause. So yogi's choice, you can come to bridge. If you feel like shoulder stand is a part of your practice and you enjoy it, that would be a nice opening too. Otherwise, we're going to walk our shoulder blades in. We've got our feet and knees hip distance apart. We're going to take our hips up. Some of us will interlace our fingers underneath us, just really getting down on those shoulders. Some of us will grab the sides of the mat. Let the chest meet the chin, not the chin meet the chest. In other words, let the breath go into the chest, up towards the chin, so that we keep a nice spacious neck here. The neck spine, cervical spine, is not on the mat. There's a space underneath the neck. The weight of the body is mainly in the shoulders, but also the back of the head. 3 more. There's a softness here, even in this dynamic work. 2. And slowly, when you're ready, float it down and down. Toss your arms over your head in wild abandon here and just walk the legs windshield wiper side to side. 8 more. How's your breathing? Start to stretch out those exhales a little bit longer. And those inhales maybe a little bit longer, starting to let our bodies and our minds and our breath know we're going to calm down now. When it's time for you to come into a happy baby pose, find your way. Any variation you'd like to do. Five more breaths in happy baby. And now making your way slowly to a final resting pause here, Shavasana. You could put something under your neck or under your knees. Well-earned Shavasana. So getting there now, finding stillness. And those of you who are there, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your hands and feet, really tense everything up, and then flop it out. Let's do that twice more. Just really squeeze it in, squeeze it in, squeeze it in, squeeze it in, all that. And then flop it out. One more time. Squeeze it in, squeeze it in, squeeze it in, squeeze it in. Even more, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And flop it out. Flop it out. Gently close your eyes, inner gaze. Relaxing the muscles of the tongue, relaxing the muscles of the front of the throat, relaxing the muscles around the scalp. Relax the eyeballs and the jaw, the muscles around the chest and the back. Let go of any clenching in the belly lock or the glutes. Let those thighs roll out. Let those heels and toes roll out. Those palms turning up, perhaps, nice and open. Heavy on the left, heavy on the right, heavy on the head. And just take a big exhale. We're going to do relaxation now. We're going to do it. Let your body get so heavy, so heavy. So heavy you couldn't be lifted with the crane. And again, that inner gaze is inward and downward. And you're watching your body be breathed. You don't have to do it anymore. You don't have to do anything. This is about nothing. Just watch yourself do nothing. Just a bunch of lazy bones. Be a lazy bones here. If the mind starts to get you up and running, just tell it you're busy. You're being breathed right now. You'll get back to it, but just drop it in. Focusing. This is the part we've been working for, this pose here. Master it. Okay? Letting go. And as always, may we sit in a spirit of gratitude. Not just when things are easy, not just when things are balanced, not just when things are going our way, but also when things are really hard, really frustrating or irritating or out of control. Can we be grateful for these scratchier lessons too? They show us who we are and who are you right now. You're a lazy bones. All right. Namaste. Enjoy.